Welcome, Jean-Claude, to our question and interview session.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to take thank you for joining us. We'll just start off straight away. We've got one question. First question. Part of our task was to research you a little, so we've dug a bit deep. First question we'd like to ask is: we've noticed that you possessed both jobs in the oil sector as well as being involved in telecoms. We're interested in knowing what inspired you and swayed you away from there and towards a career in lecturing.
I've always been a soft eng, and so it's really, it was not a move from it, it was just a different interest into software engineering. Before I started RGU, I was involved in a research company, working on the neural network for about 10 years. And that's what really drove me into doing a master and then a PhD.
Do you wish you'd made the move sooner?
Or do you feel it was the right time?
No, I think there is an evolution in your skill which has to take time. My 10 years in neural network, for instance, really brought me into my current PhD studies.
And your PhD was in cognitive science?
Indeed, and genetic algorithm.
Okay. And we also read that you're still carrying out a thesis for that?
Yes, I'm completing the thesis. Because I've been lecturing and been quite busy with that, I had to slow it down a little bit. And but I've published papers and stuff like that, so I'm quite happy the way it goes, but I need to complete it. Should be quite soon now.
And what do you hope the outcome is when you do complete your thesis?
Well, I don't want things to change that much. I did the PhD because I realized I like academia, and I definitely like being a lecturer, and also being involved in research.
You clearly know how the mind works and inside the brain and cognitive studies. We're wondering if you could fill our minds and sort of inform us a bit more what ACTR entails.
Yeah, ACTR is an architecture that represents human minds. It's very much about how we gain knowledge and use it, and how we store it. It's also about human functions, motor functions, and visual and auditive functions. What's the problem with it is you need to create a model, and that is really time consuming and it's quite complicated, which is why lots of people don't use it. But once you get used to it, you can actually see, you can simulate a human mind.
How did you find out about ACTR? Like, did you find out from doing your studies at university, like your PhD and masters, or?
No, I did, when I finished a master here, I did a neural net development kit, and for my master, and that took the attention of Professor Holt. It did actually give me the opportunity to do a PhD, and one of the part of that PhD was to actually learn how ACTR works and to use it. So I was very, very much a some man, a neural net person. So with that PhD, I had to become, I had to go into cognitive science.
Okay. And finally, what are your views on seeing the area develop, like ACTR, cognitive science, things like that, in like the next 15, 20 years?
I think it's going to become really big, because if you can simulate, like in my field in HSCI, if you can simulate human being, therefore you can test a hell of a lot more things without including human being. Definitely in terms of robotics, you can start to get a robot accumulating knowledge and using it. In the medical environment, you can actually do if you program well your model, you can actually double check if your thinking is actually rational. And one thing ACTR is, it's active control of third, rational. It is very rational. So you can use that also to test. Just now the problem with ACTR is in Lisp. Very little amount of people program program Lisp, and it's just a bunch of researchers.
That draws a close to the interview. Thank you very much.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.